Good evening, everyone. And we are here again talking about study in Europe. And a lot of students have been, approaching us through social media. I got almost 28 questions from different schools and different students, and some even at a PhD level. So we'll try to cover all of them. Uh, in the last 5 years, even the way we approach study abroad, it has changed dramatically. There was a time when people would come and talk only about US, UK, Canada, Australia. But increasingly, from the student side, from the parent side, the discussions kept on varying to other countries. Even people like us, I did extensive traveling across Europe and stayed in campuses where possible, wherever PhD scholar space or some kind of space was available, or near the campuses. Tried to see at hand, talk to a lot of students. So I have students across Germany, Netherlands, France, and so on. So spoke to a lot of students and try to get some feedback: how, what, where, why. So today we are going to discuss everything threadbare, and we'll let you understand step by step how you can look at Europe. And of course, there are some generic questions about profile, about career choices. So I'll be happy to answer those also. So we are Center for Career Development. I started this more than 2 decades back, and we keep on working with students in India, Gulf region, and African region also. Next. So today we are going to look at study in Europe, and I have a very esteemed panel with me. So Ayushi Nagpal, she is working with Campus France. She's already joined us. Then Miss Neeru Mathur, she has been helping students with the Germany admissions. So she comes from a consulting company which is specially for German admissions. And then of course Miss Hanju Singh from University of Galway, Ireland. So I would welcome all my co-panelists. Uh, I'll just quickly introduce and then we get into a discussion. I already shared, I have almost 28 questions from different students. I'll share with the panel also, and few I'll also answer. So that's how we're going to proceed. So I welcome all of you. Next. Next, please. Yeah. So if I look at across the world, you will find, Europe is very, very favorable. Like Germany, a lot of students go with zero cost. Netherlands have students who are paying 11 lakh, 12 lakhs per annum tuition fees. France, though, there's a certain figure, but we'll talk about Classes Internationals, a new program which has been launched and which is evoking very good response from school students all over. Again, Sweden have students studying at Stockholm, Lund, and a couple of other universities. So we'll talk about this also. Next. So this is just to showcase that how the pricing is across. A lot of people ask us that, look, are the programs good? Can we get good jobs? Are the programs available in English? Uh, so one thing which I like to share at this stage is, so Europe, you have something called as EURES, EURES, which is European Union Mobility Scheme. So I can study in one country, I can get internship in another country, I can get, I can get jobs in any other country. So I'm all the member states are open for me, and I can immediately look at opportunities. Typically, all my students travel. So in the initial 4 or 5 months, also people have done like 3 countries, 4 countries. So that is something very exciting about Europe. Next. So there are these destinations which we are talking about, but step by step, and we'll take you through a few of them. And then maybe at this point, I'll just invite some comments from my panelists, and we'll quickly discuss a couple of countries, and then I'll add more value. So so if I ask, okay, uh, uh, Neeru ma'am, would you like to initiate? Would you like to speak about
Yeah,
Germany? Yeah. So what is the
yeah.
advantage of
So,
Germany? And somehow a lot of students, when they're thinking of Europe, Germany seems to be a top destination. So what is it about Germany which attracts people? How do we go about it step by step? What is it that you would like to share?
yeah. So if we start with Germany, I can say that it is attracting. It has opened its door for all international students, offering free education at both bachelor's and master's level. It's absolutely free. There's no tuition fee involved, and varied number of courses across all streams. Every year, new courses are introduced. They have a basket full of courses, and all avenues remains open with tuition free education.
Okay.
And after that, you after you complete your studies, you get a stay back option, wherein you get 18 months of a period wherein you can find jobs anywhere across the entire European Union. So all 27 countries are open for you. Plus, the students they're allowed to work on their student visas. They have the minimum wages fixed. Like
Okay.
it's a free education that they're offering you with ample of jobs in the market against all the fields
So a lot of students say that
in
it
the
is
ESL.
largely for technical education, but what are the other fields which are really popular and where I can get jobs in Germany?
I think that's a myth that it's only for the technological fields available. Psychology originated in Germany. We have hospitality, the leading thing in Germany. I think it's because it's a leading economy of Europe. So all the finance related things, the marketing, you name a field, and I think everything Germany is offering ample of courses and the jobs against them.
Great, great, great. So I'll come back to you. So Ayushi, I remember, I think April 19th was the date when In Front of Principals Classes Internationals
Right.
program was launched. And I've been talking about it to a lot of principals, and I think there's a huge response from the Indian population.
Right.
And great that this program is only for India, and surprisingly, a lot of people don't know about it. Still they don't
Exactly.
know about it. So students who are listening to us, or parents, or teachers, counselors, and principals, please understand France has a very new program, and I'll let Aishi explain that program as well as generally about France. I mean, France as a country and what does it offer, and step by step how do you go about it, and the salient points of classes internationals, especially the monies, which is like amazing all over the world. Yeah.
Right, right. Okay, thank you so much, Jatin. So, yes, France is, of course, one of the very popular destinations if we talk about Europe. And if we talk about the tuition fee involved, as we have seen in Europe, it's anyway not as expensive as a few other destinations. To give you an idea about France, there are, so if it is divided in different public and private institutions both, and the fees would vary as per the university that you are choosing. And the average living cost in France is also I think manageable, about 7 to 8 lakh rupees per annum, because of the help and the benefits that the government provides to the international students who are living there. So France is a country which has absolutely no discrimination for an international student or a French student. Whatever benefits a French student get, be it national, paying the national fees, be it getting the subsidies, be it getting the subsidy on the rental, everything would be available for international students as well. Talking about the procedure, so it's very simple procedure. France does not require IELTS or TOEFL in general if you are going for an English taught program. Your medium of instruction has been English throughout, and it does work well. Apart from this, as such, the entrance exam is also required depending on the program that you are choosing. There could be one or two programs which, as such, has a specific requirement for which you can check on the website of Campus France as well as the university. Now, talking about Classes International, which is a new program that is being launched when Prime Minister Narendra Modi and And this is actually exclusively for Indian students right now. Last year we had a good feedback from this program, and again next year admission are going to start very soon, and we are going to have a new catalog very soon for that also. So international classes is actually a program which gives you one foundation year in France before you actually start with your bachelor's full-time bachelor's degree. There could be sometimes there's a myth that you need French language even if you're going for English taught program. At some point, it does play a role because you are going to live in that country and knowing the language does help you out. But if you are actually, trained already with that language, as per Classes International, you do 1 year of French language and the minors of the subject, whatever you choose in France, in that particular university. And then from second year onwards, you start with a full-time bachelor's, which is French taught bachelor's. So if you are going right away from here, you might first not get access to the French taught programs because of the language thing. You might not get access to the public universities because these are very, very difficult to get in, very competitive. And if you're applying after having a certain level of French from India, that means you are going to compete with all the people who are applying. Now, if you go through Classes International, it means you already get a conditional acceptance letter basis on your 12th. The university themselves is preparing you for their bachelor's. And if we talk about the universities, it's not just the public university, but also some specialized engineering schools, specialized management schools. Then you can find the art, design, and of course the STEM courses. If you allow, I will just very quickly show you one of the program which is there, and I'll show you how that looks like. So this is the website of Class International. You can just, can you confirm if you can see the screen?
I'll do that. Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Thank you so much. So yeah, this is the catalog for Classes International or Class International. So this is how it looks like, and these are the types of programs which are there. So we have public universities, we have engineering schools, we have arts and audiovisual schools because this is the field which is also very much demanded now. And of course, we have management. Apart from this, public universities will have everything: psychology, social sciences, law, international relations, and STEM courses. And if I take a very small example of one of the universities, let's say Paris Saclay is actually comes under top tier 20 universities in the world as per the Shanghai ranking. So that means it's not as easy to enter these universities. And this is how the Class International would look like. You do 1 year of one academic year, wherein you are going to study an approx of 570 hours of education, out of which almost three-fourths are spent in making you learn the French language and training you entirely for this. And then one fourth or one third, depending on the hours decided by university, you do the methodology classes as well. So it's not just French, but you are actually starting with your bachelor's subjects, and you get to do it in French as well. And if you see at the fees, the first year Class International fees would be a standard fees for all the institutions, approx 5,000 euros a year. And then eventually, when you start with your bachelor's, if you see year 1, year 2, year 3, it is 2,770 euros, which is approx 2.5 lakh, and this is per annum. This is the type. And then if you scroll below, you will see if there are accommodations which are mentioned available on the campus. The minimum requirement here of the French language is to have a A2 level. So those who have studied in school, I think it's a good program for you. You might be thinking how to use French, what we have done till 10th standard or even before that. So this is the way out. You just revise your French language. It's not mandatory that you give A2 Delft examination, but you just have the level. Your university is going to evaluate you and then eventually give you the conditional letter.
In this, I think 2-3 people quickly asked, even if we do not have French language competence right now, can I still apply for it?
You can apply, but you need to have the French level from India before leaving. So you can start with the
I can
application.
apply right now and maybe work on it for the next 3 months, 6 months, whatever.
Exactly. So you can contact Alliance Francaise right now. Start with your application eventually, because you are going to go September next year. You have enough time for you to plan and get A2 level, which is about 6 months or so, and average 6 months to 8 months for that.
So Ridhima and one more person were asking, as Ayushi had shared, basically you can apply to the program classes internationals, even if you do not have French language, but it is expected that you will build up till A2 level before you go from here, which will
Yes.
obviously take time. Yeah. And it is a matter of like 6 months. If you have done the language earlier, then you can do it even faster.
Yes.
So that is what we are saying.
Right.
Great, great. So we'll come back with more questions. I've got a lot of questions for you, Ayushi.
Sure.
I'll come back in some time. Ms. Sanju Singh, who's from University of Galway, if you can share about Ireland as a country, and what is attractive, and also some unique programs which your university is doing, I think that'll be great for the audience.
Okay, great. Thanks a lot for inviting me, Mr. Chawla, first of all, and thanks for all those who are listening. Really glad to be here. So, as far as Ireland is concerned, of course, being in Europe, it has emerged as one of the very, I would say, preferred destination in the last 5 years. Categorically, like after COVID, definitely it picked up like anything. So, when we talk about the USPs of the country itself, first and foremost, of course, the moment people think about Europe, they think about language barrier. Of course, that they would be required to learn something new, or maybe anything that they are sort of wanting to or not. But when we talk about Ireland, Ireland is actually an English-speaking country. Both Gaelic and Irish are the official languages of the country, so making things very easier for a student who's not willing to learn a new language. So I think that is the first USP. Besides other things, of course, currently there are about 30 institutions and universities in the country, and they're all world-class, universities offering high quality of education. And I would say these universities are among the top 500 in the world generally. So definitely that is how we equate to quality. Ireland is also a country which actually attracts, I would say, multinational people, in the sense like it's culturally diverse. For example, in our university itself, there are 122 nationalities. Okay, so you can just imagine people coming from Americas, people coming from Canada, Europe, Japan, Hong Kong, Australia. Indians, of course, it's really, really popular amongst Indian, Southeast Asians, and Chinese community. So you'll see all sort of people studying in the universities across the country. Besides all this, of course, we are also a hub for research and innovation. A lot of money, a lot of billion of euros are invested by the government in various research activities and in academia and in industry both. That definitely makes us more stronger because we've got government backing over there. Then another thing, especially for undergrad students, if you're talking, or generally as well, I would say Ireland offers a very safe community. It's a very, very friendly community which embrace other nationalities with open arms. Again, a very, I would say, breath of fresh air when it comes to all this. It's a very safe country. Part-time and full-time jobs are available. Of course, any and every student who's wanting to go abroad, they just wanted to be self-sustained. They don't want to be dependent on their parents for at least when it comes to living cost. So we allow students to work for 20 hours and about 40 hours during the vacation period, or full-time as we call it. And the minimum wage is about 12.75 euros an hour. So which enables you to sort of, sustain yourself very, very comfortably. Then the other thing which comes after the completion of the degree, there are stayback options available. 1 year currently for an undergraduate student, and about 2 years for postgraduate students, encouraging them to study in the university. Economy is growing really, really good. When there are a lot of giant economies are slipping into recession, I think, again, Irish economy is doing very well. It's growing by a rate of 3.8% every year, making us the fastest growing economy after Denmark. So definitely, again, something to look forward to, because growing economy means more jobs, especially for international students. It should be considered very, very seriously. And then when we talk about the career opportunities, there are abundant career opportunities for students who are looking for IT, data science, AI programs, because it's the Silicon Valley of Europe. But besides that, of course, there are immense opportunities available for students who are looking at pharma sectors, having a job in medtech sector, fintech sector as well. And since you are Jitin, I should definitely add that there are opportunities for the students who are looking for courses in hospitality management. Our own university offered the best hotel management course in the country. But besides that, psychology, arts and digital technology, then English, creative writing also have lots and lots of scopes for the students. In terms about the duration of the degree, especially at an undergraduate level, it's a 4 years degree. We more or less follow the US education systems, where in 2 years you'll be spent understanding the basics of any program that you're doing. Third year is a year which is mostly spent either doing an internship, and if you're doing an internship, it is mostly paid. If not, then you would be allowed to study abroad in Europe or US or Japan, Australia, Hong Kong, wherever the collaboration is there with the university. And once you come back to pursue your fourth year, the fourth year is the year wherein you focus more on the specializations or electives part of it. Okay. Again, referring to our university, if we talk about, of course, employability rates are pretty high. We are just talking about 98% employability in our university, almost 100% in certain courses. So that gives a lot of reassurance to the students who are wanting to pursue and invest a lot of money in the university education, that is. So this is a bit about the program and the structures, but we, like most of the universities, fee structure would be falling anything between, I would say, 9 to 10,000 euros to up to 27,000 euros, generally, except for medicine, which actually is a very expensive deal. Generally, it can be as high as 55,000 euros a year. But living cost would be about 10,000 euros, as I said, and it is totally recoverable as well. But scholarships are available for meritorious students. Most of the universities would be offering scholarships on the basis of merit, and Government of Ireland also has this initiative under which they offer full scholarships to study in Ireland and also offer a stipend of 10,000 euros extra. So of course, there are deadlines. Yeah, so that's an extra stipend for the living. So there are deadlines involved. So generally it is in the month of March. But if you think you can get good grades, you can write a strong SOP and get good references. I encourage everyone listening here to actually apply for Government of Ireland scholarships from India. So yeah, that's it from me. Yeah, but happy to answer any question. I'm sure there would be follow-up questions. So I'm here to answer any questions.
This government scholarship, is it for after 12th only, or is it for master's students also?
Mostly it is available for postgrad, but they have been offering scholarships to undergraduate students as well, or PhD students for that matter. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's open. Yeah.
I think quickly we'll take a few questions. Ridhima, answering your question that already learning Spanish, so it's absolutely fine. You can look at Spain also, Ridhima. Also, you're very young right now. So if I was you, I'll probably do a country-wise analysis. I'll understand what areas, careers, and so on. So I'll play around with research papers and do some internship to just check what is it that I'm looking at. And if you are clear that, hey, I'm looking at these areas, and accordingly you can choose a country, and then you can still build up in 11th or 12th or even in 12th grade also. But if you are looking at Spain also has a destination. We send students to IE Business School Spain, which is a top business school, and there are a couple of other institutions which you can look at. Anima Sarkar is asking, can class 12 students apply for colleges for the following year? Yes, they can. Ayushi, please correct me. I think this is for classes international. So maybe I have a gap for 1 year, so I can still apply, I believe.
Right, of course. You just have to justify the gap, not with any extra thing, but just in your motivation letter or any gap justification letter that you say, okay, I was figuring out the programs that I wanted to after 12th, and that is why I took the gap. So it is absolutely fine.
IELTS is required for Ireland? I think yes. IELTS?
Yes, IELTS is required, but certain universities do waive off IELTS if you have, let's say, 70 or 80% max in English in class 12. But it's a visa requirement as well, so might as well take it and score well.
Great. Fully funded PhD in psychology, is it available? Sujata is asking. So Sujata, typically, like, you need to kind of speak to a professor, you need to kind of correspond with them and look at which area you would research and submit and then look at it. So typically, yes, fully funded PhD. Like typically PhDs, it's not so difficult. You will get some research assistantship or some other assistantship. So, so I think you can fund your PhD. And just let me know if you're going, then I might also apply. I feel excited about it now. Okay, Venus is asking, can you tell me top 5 countries for fashion designing? Venus, I think there is scope in each country, so difficult to say it like that. But since you're discussing Europe right now, so I would say I know of institutions in France, in Italy. I can, of course, beyond it. I like last year we sent almost 4 students to US top institute like FIDM, CCA, Parsons, Pratt. So France, you have NSAT. Uh, Ayushi, you can add if there are some others which I'm missing out. Yeah, Italy, you have this is Istituto Europeo di Design, and then Istituto Maragoni. Maragoni is present in India also, so you can do 1 year in Mumbai, and then you can go and take up further education in Italy. So we have a couple of others also. Any others you want to add, Ayushi and Anju, or Niru, you
For
want to
the
add?
design, in fact, there are multiple programs, and some business schools in France also do offer a combination of design management, art management, visual management, which actually helps students to, of course, have a niche in the design program, but also, have that background of the management to help them get better job opportunities.
I think
So
that's a very
you
good
can.
idea because yeah, a lot of students, I also, I literally have pushed a lot of people to look at fashion business management, where design and business is combined, or design, technology, and business is combined, because I think the in terms of jobs, in terms of growth, it's a more structured career than design only. So
Exactly.
that's a
There's
pretty
a
good.
program, luxury brand management, which is very much in demand in France. So you can, work with in the design sector or the back end of with the luxury brands. So I think this is also a very good option.
I think we've got a couple of questions for Germany. So, Ms. Neeru, if you are there,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah. Please, please. I'm
we
sorry
have
for the bad connection I'm having. I
no
was on
worries.
board and I'm really sorry for that. But yes, I can now take the questions, please.
So people, Ribu, if you can highlight the questions, initial questions. Some of the chat has run up. Oh, okay. Yeah. Is German language mandatory for CS, BSc, and TOM undergraduate?
Uh,
I think yes, it is. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it is. All the TUs
yeah.
after 12 is going.
No, like Technical University of Munich, if we are specifically talking of, it is
Yes,
offered
Munich.
in German language, but there are ample of other public universities where it is offered in English language as well.
Okay. Okay. So,
So we have many universities. In fact, Technical University of Berlin also has a program in English.
oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I got another question. Medicine. I think a couple of people are asking about medicine as a career option. So this is for France. Medicine in France is offered in French. I want to know my prospect for joining there.
Well, to be very honest, we do not suggest that medicine in France for the reasons, of course, the language barrier, because you have to have a native level proficiency of C1, but also the rules by the government to actually practice medicine, which is given only to the French nationals, because the whole medical system in France comes under government only. There is no private practice.
Yeah, if you want me to add, in Ireland, of course, medicine is sort of taught in English as well. Most of the universities, the top ones, offer medicine schools. We ourselves have a school of medicine. So if a student is pursuing a CBSE or an ICSE board, it's allowed. It would become a 6 years degree, which includes for 1 year of foundation, followed by 5 years of education. But generally, if the student is pursuing an IB or an A levels, it's a 5 years of education. Most of the time, the admission is based on your grades in class 12. IELTS has to be strong for sure. And a small interview generally is taken because there are no entrance tests per se to get into
Wow,
the medicine
that's great.
schools, like especially in ours, right? So it's mostly on IB scores or A level scores or class 12. For example, 95% would be needed. Chemistry needs to be stronger than biology. Math is not a requirement in class 12. However, we do look at class 10th mathematics at times. interview is definitely the game changer here. So the students are required to appear for the interviews before they get into, though it's very, very competitive. So we have hardly 2 to 3 students in a year coming from India.
So tell me, like, what is the approximate percentage maybe last year, and what is the expenses if I join in your university for medicine?
Okay, medicine is definitely, as I said initially, is the most expensive. When we talk about the CBSE, ICSE boards, minimum 95% is desired. Higher the better. But when we talk about IB, 36 minimum points, and of course A levels, A stars, and all that. But when we talk about the course fees, about in our university is about 44,500 euros a year, and then over and above that 10,000 euros would be your living cost. So then you can just straight away multiply by 5 or 6. So it's an expensive affair for sure. But then in past we have had students joining the program and doing pretty well. Indian girls, I know 2 to 3 of them who got into this, so they're doing pretty well. One from Kolkata and one from Chennai and Bangalore. Recent past, I would say. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. So let me take on more questions. Which countries are good for medicine? The daughter is currently in 11th grade. Would NEET score be mandatory? So yeah, you'll need to give NEET. Anybody going out of India, you need to kind of get a passing thing in NEET, which is very low, which is not really as great. So like NEET good scores are typically for this year, it was 630, 640 plus. If I look at last year, it was around 605, 607. But around 200 was a score which was kind of a clearing, which gave you a passing thing. So I'll have to look at the exact thing, but around 200, let's say. So if somebody is going to go outside and your sciences is good, so you'll obviously crack. I mean, all of my students get average scores like 350, 400, which is like fairly without too much of preparation, and with preparation around 500 to easily. So it's just like in 12th we say, no, you should have a minimum of 55% or 60% or something like that. So but I would need to give NEET also even when I'm going outside. Which countries are good depends on your budgets, because I have sent people to UK. I'll need to give an exam also, but UK typically it would cost me around the same level, maybe around a 40-45 lakhs per annum. Some universities even more, but I can do like 35 to 50 lakhs per annum, I would say. If I look at Australia, we have sent people there also. So UK, Australia, Ireland, you are directly doing medicine. If you go to a country like US, you'll do pre-med and then you kind of further move ahead with medicine. So that's how it is. One should shy away from countries like Philippines and other countries where it might be an issue. So in terms of recognition by MCI, so MCI has tightened everything. So kindly understand that we need to look at it. Anything else? I'm confused between Paris and US for fashion. Venus, you can directly get in touch with us. So we will be sharing our numbers. Ribu, if you can flash our numbers on the screen. And for anything you need, we will put you in touch with our panel also. There's a way in which you can approach them, and then we can build it up. So any quick question? I think Anju, because you had to leave. Again, last 2 minutes, if you can share that, hey, this is what you should keep in mind when you're looking at Ireland, and especially about the job scene also, and stay back visa, because I have students in countries like US which are having a tough time finding a job. Canada is also tough, surprisingly. So Europe seems to be promising. So what is the on the ground level situation in Ireland? If you can share that, stay back visa, and then even permanent settlement in any other country also. So any comments on that?
Yeah, so as I initially mentioned, Jatin, say, as far as job market is concerned, STEM has always been on top, but it doesn't stop other students to pursue their degrees in our country. But primarily, if you are in IT, if you are in medtech sector, pharma, economics, psychology, or fintech, finance, these are the places, or these are the areas where there are more jobs than others, and they're more sort of faster to get those jobs. as well. So definitely try to sort of come to Ireland if you're looking, particularly in these areas. Biotech, biomed is emerging as well. Like Galway is a global medtech hub. Not many people know. Sort of top
Oh,
10 medtech company, 9 of them have operations in Galway, like Delcath. When you talk about Abbott, Aragen, Boston Scientific recruits a lot of our students. So those of you who are not aware, biotechnology is something is really emerging. Biomed is very, very strong in Galway. In fact, this year we have announced a scholarship of 10,000 euros every year for 4 years for the students who are interested in pursuing biomed and biotech, which could be a great backup option. I'm not sure, like saying like you can't, like you shouldn't be going for MBBS, but if at all you have an option available, go for biomed and biomed. Just explore that as well. Stayback option is, again, as I said, 1 year for all undergraduate degrees, but employability is high because economy is doing very well. The percentage 3.8% growing, every year is something really, really positive. So it offers many opportunities for the students who are coming to the country. Our employability is 98 to 100% in most of these programs, and we have a dedicated career development cell wherein 3 officers are working dedicatedly with international students to work on their CV, to prepare them for interviews. And then once the companies come, like we get more than 400 employers visiting our university every year, so we ensure that our students get placed in the very first year, in the very first trimester, very last trimester of their studies as well. So most of the students, 80% of the students have at least 1 or 2 offer letters at the time of graduation. So that's the scenario in all the popular areas that we are talking about.
that sounds good. That sounds good.
Yeah.
So great. Thanks a lot for your
Thank you.
inputs. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was
Thanks
great
for having
you
me.
here. Yeah. I think students, everyone is really enthused, and I'm sure people will get in touch with you. So maybe at the end, if you want, we can share your mail ID so that they can directly get in touch. Or if we get any queries, then we'll share it with you. Thank you.
Okay, sure. Thanks for having us. Thank you. Bye-bye. Nice meeting.
Okay, I have loads and loads of questions. I think everyone is asking. So, best aerospace engineering colleges in Germany, France, and Ireland too. Uh, so, Miss Neeru, Germany, best aerospace engineering colleges.
Yeah, there are many courses available for aerospace as well, but it would be in German language only. There are few courses which are offered only in German language, and aerospace is one of them. But
So,
there are many universities which are masters also in
masters can I get in English?
masters is available, but a very few options. I think 1 or 2 would be available in English. But again, then the job prospects would be much better if you are in a German medium of instruction. But it
Okay,
is free of cost, yes, and many universities are offering this course. In fact, TUM also offers this.
right, right. So, I
Um,
also got a question. Can I apply to University of Zurich and ETH Zurich? Yes, you can. ETH, I personally visited both these universities. So, masters you'll find it in English, and after 12th, typically courses are you need German language. German language, I would say B1, B2. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
we need B2 for German
yeah,
now.
yeah. Best country for studying masters in finance. Harish, it depends. If you're asking in Europe, probably I'll pick up, top universities from anywhere. It is not about the country per se. So I might go to HEC Paris. I might go to IE Business School Spain. I'll go to, top universities in Ireland. I'll go to top universities in France. I have students who pass on from ISEC who have done pretty well. I'll go to UK. So if I look at a country, depending on the size of the country, accordingly I'll choose. Maybe like in UK, I'll choose top 7, 8, 10 if you have good percentage, good profile. If I'm looking at Ireland, maybe I'll choose top 3. If I'm looking at Austria, I'll choose top 1. So all because the top companies which are recruiting remain the same. So if I go to any country, you'll find KPMG, Deloitte, McKinsey. I'll find Citibank, American Express. Even surprisingly, if I take you to Philippines, there's an institute, Asian Institute of Management, Philippines. So I pass out from Asian Institute of Management, which is like a top institute in Philippines, and I pass out from IIM Ahmedabad, IIM Bangalore, FMS, where I also pass out from. So my access to job is similar because Philippines also Citibank is there, MX is there, KTMG is there, and so on. I hope you understand. So think like that, and according to your budgets, you can finalize. You can get in touch with our team members, and we can help you in finalizing it also. Can you shed some
Chetan, if
light?
you may for a
Yeah,
second, I actually
please.
wanted to answer for the question of aerospace because France
Yeah, yeah.
being the hub for Airbus, which is the the most biggest aerospace manufacturing company. So for those who are interested in aerospace, aeronautical, or even there is a similar program called fluid engineering, which is the fuels of what is used in this aircraft. So you can look up for colleges like ISAE Supero, that is in the city of Toulouse in the south of France, where the hub, like the center of Airbus, is also there. So I mean, it's better for students to get internship opportunities as well as eventually your jobs because you are in the city where the headquarters of the Airbus is. And then apart from this, there is also INSA, which is in 3 to 4 cities of France, again, which is also famous for its aerospace and aeronautical programs. Thank you.
So, Ayushi, we have a question. What about management courses? And what
Uh,
is its eligibility, especially for PG?
For PG, okay. So first thing, MIM is a program which was actually originated in France. So if you're looking for management, that is the right country for you. For those who are not sure of what specialization you want to go ahead with in management, also MIM is the right program. First year you do the foundations of management. Second year you do your specialization of management in any fields. GMAT or of course CAT is Indian, but GMAT as such is not required unless until some institutions like HEC, INSEAD, they do ask for their MBA programs. MBA in France is usually after certain year of work experience, minimum 3 to 5. That is what is recommended. Or for the freshers, you might go for MIM or any specialized MSc if you're sure of what you want to do as a specialization. There are highly ranked business schools. If you see, they are triple accredited and they have those international rankings which are there. And these are not just the business schools, but also the degree that you're going to get is recognized by the state. So you get the national degree, but also you are coming in the top 1%. You are studying at the top 1% business schools in the world.
Great, great. So one question, Ayushi Rawat, this is really close to my heart that it is mostly said to have one degree from our native country, so it is recommendable to go PG and UG abroad. So it's one of the biggest misconception which parents have. Some parents feel that bacha chota hai, blah blah blah. Are, if you train the child from which a lot of families have now started doing, it depends. I have students who have gone and done summer camps at 8th class stage in Singapore, 9th they are traveling to US, uh, 10th they are going and participating in a competition in Hong Kong. So it depends on how you have been trained. After 12th, outside is a good opportunity. Of course, as a career counselor, I also maintain if I crack topmost institutes in India, it's a good story. But Indian top institutes are like the competition, the acceptance rate is 0.1% typically, or even lower. Whereas outside, it depends. Topmost top Ivy Leagues would be like 4% to about 18% acceptance rate. Yeah. So that is what I'm talking about. So Ayushi, if you're able to crack very good institution in India, fine, but don't get into average institutions. That is why you and your parent need to research, need to understand how to research, check Times Higher Education rankings, QS World ranking, and so on. Do you provide assistance, guidance to medicine in Italy? Yes, I have a team member who specializes in medicine, so definitely we can take it up. Please cover Netherlands. So I have to complete my presentation. So these countries I am going to cover in detail. Just hold on. Uh, Credit transfer option in engineering in French universities after first year in India. So is that a possibility, Ayushi, and how people can go about it?
So yes, of course, you can apply for. In France, the education system works as per the years only. So for the bachelor's, it is called L1, L2, L3, L4 accordingly. That is first, second, third, and fourth year of bachelor's. And same goes for masters as well, M1 and M2. So if you're done with your first year of engineering in India, you can apply for directly for your L2 programs in France. Getting selected or not depends on the university, of course, because they do check whatever you have done in your first year, if that matches your criteria, their criteria of first year, because they do not want you to suffer as well. You might have studied something else, they might have taught something else in their first year. So accordingly, these are the things, but you are eligible to apply, and if you're selected, you can start from second year directly.
Great, great. What about cybersecurity and courses in Germany and Ireland along with the universities? So typically, like top universities would have a specialization in cybersecurity. If you, yeah, Germany, if you like to comment, Neeru, if you can share uh, top university for cybersecurity and any courses.
Yeah, we have cybersecurity at SRH as well. We have computers with specialization in cybercrime as well. So we have multiple permutations, combination available, be it as a special paper or the bachelor in cybersecurity. So there are multiple options available in private universities and the public universities, if we say so.
Great, great.
Yeah.
So, I have another question. Are Georgia, Vietnam, Mauritius option for MBBS? It's slightly becoming lot challenging, Rowena. Why? Because uh, generally, when I look at it, so it's very difficult to come back and settle in India because MCI has their own test, Medical Council of India. Similarly, if you go outside, if you are at, let's say, if you're trying to go to US, so you have USMLE. If you try to go to UK, you have PLAB, and so on. So, in terms of these students being able to crack this is a slight challenge, not very easy. So you have to evaluate all that and then think on these options. So I have question marks on this. Scope of biotech abroad for masters. So Aman, scope for biotech is pretty good, especially in European nation. We have sent number of students to countries like Sweden, Ireland. I'm sure Ayushi has been sending to France and Neeru ma'am to Germany. So good jobs, good growth because somehow a lot of research orientations there, a lot of labs exist. Even I met somebody, my brother, he was working with Tetra Pak in Sweden. So subsequently he went to US and he had his own flat there, and I went and met two Russians who were there, and both the Russians, they were having biotech background. So the lady of the house was working with a biotech startup, and the husband was teaching at University of Copenhagen. Yeah. So yeah, scope of biotech is good. Jitesh is asking requirements for MIM, MBA in France and Ireland, and typical costs. Ayushi.
Can you please repeat the question? I just
This
missed the
is
beginning.
MIM. Rivo, if you can display it here. Scope of requirement for MIM MBA in France and Ireland, and also the cost.
Okay, sure. So MIM, as I already mentioned, is a either 0 to 2 years of work experience degree. So there is no as such requirement. The better marks you have would matter. So it is a profile based selection. Mostly you need to have good profile. I'm not talking about 95%, but an average which you can say, okay, it's a good percentage. And then apart from this, you do not have to prepare for IELTS or TOEFL as such. Your English language proficiency is waived off. You need recommendation letters. If you get one professional, one academic, it's perfect. If not, then two academic, it's fine if you're going immediately after bachelor's. If you already have some prior internships, that would also again help, because this is a field which requires some sort of practical exposure. Talking about MBA, if you are going to really highly ranked business schools such as INSEAD, HEC, EDHEC, these would require a GMAT or a GRE scores. And accordingly, you can check on their website what is the requirement. What we see going through is a minimum of 650 and above for the GMAT. This is for MBA. If we talk about tuition fees, that again depends on the business school that you're targeting. An average tuition fee yearly for an MIM program could be around 10 to 15,000 euros per year. It could be higher as well, such as INSEAD might have about 40 to 50,000 also. So that entirely depends on the school that you're choosing. But if we see certain ranked institutions in France for business schools, apart from HEC and INSEAD, the average is between 10 to 15,000 every year. In this, there are certain options where you can take a gap year also, especially in MIM. You do first year of foundation, you do a gap year wherein you can do 2 to 3 internships or work as well. And then eventually you start again with your second year of MIM, but in the third year. This will actually help you gain the practical exposure, whatever you have learned in those first year. Talking about MBA, it's usually a 1 year to 15 months program, because it's really after certain year of work experience that you go for it. And the fees for MBA would be a bit higher than MIM program, but not as high as if you would think. An MBA in a business school would be around 30 to 40,000 euros, and if you go about HEC or INSEAD, it would go almost the double of that as well. But that's an opportunity cost, because ultimately people who have attained the maximum in India after working in corporate or in some situations in India itself, and now they are looking for a parallel growth for their career, I think investing this much is also fine, because they do cover up in a year or so. The placements after these business schools are really, really high.
Great. So, GK Mehta, you're asking, how can we get scholarship for Ivy Leagues? Best college to learn business. So, if I look at the best college for entrepreneurship in the world, ranking wise, it is Babson College in US. But again, as I said earlier, if you go to any country, look at top colleges. So you would still learn and you would go, but go for entrepreneurship programs rather than normal plain management programs. So a specialization in entrepreneurship will be helpful. Next is your question only. How can we get scholarship for Ivy Leagues? So if I'm an Ivy League college or a university, I try to see how you are different, how the person who's applying is different from the rest of the cohort, rest of the group of people who have applied. So what value add will you bring to the class? Are you very clear on your goals? Are there strong points which you have highlighted in your application? And of course, your academic profile, everything has to be top class. So imagine there are some courses where even from entire India, maybe 5 6 people are getting selected, or sometimes even 3 people. Yeah. So imagine that kind of a competition. Entire India is so few people being selected. So I have students who cracked. I had a student last year who went to. In fact, this year I have 3 students who are going to LSE. So a typical LSE person is the GMAT is like 720 to 770. Can you imagine that? I have students who the academic this thing is 9.2 on a 10. If I look at profile, people have done their own startups. People have they have launched their own modules, course modules on online platforms. They have running their own NGOs, and then there are people who they have done good research papers and published in international journals. I have people from finance side who have done their patents. Imagine. Yeah. So a new fintech plan was made and it was patented by one of my students. So generally sharing that a lot of work is undertaken, and you have to showcase that you are the best in the world in that area. You come with a very clear cut thought process. So if you're an average person, and somehow a lot of people when they come to us, they all talk about, oh, let's get into Ivy League. But are you like that? Also, parents need to help children and themselves understand Ivy League are very, very competitive. You'll be surprised if I tell you this, that more than 50% children at Ivy League would be under some kind of antidepressants, which is a very, very big thing, because nobody understands this. But if you do a Google search, you'll get these figures. And you can go university wise, you'll be surprised. So what is happening is there's a lot of pressure also. Yeah. So first think that what kind of a person you are. Are you very, very competitive? Are you like that? Are you willing to give like 14 hours, 16 hours and compete? Alternatively, I look at other places and I look at other countries, I look at top universities, I'll still get similar companies. I'll still, my career possibly same, maybe slightly slower, slightly slower, maybe a difference of 10, 15, 20%, but not that much. Ultimately, it depends on what work I'll take up. So this has to be thought out in detail. It is not a question of only career, but also person, as a person, how you are, how you balance both the things. I want students to be very happy while they are pursuing their college, where they are doing their jobs, and then then you can build up. Can you please, Ananya is asking, can you please recommend good business schools in Germany? Niru, if you can comment. I remember too, this was Frankfurt Institute of Finance and Management I visited, and
Right.
Munich Business School. But you can add more if you wish.
So the business schools again, we have MIM in Germany, which are in the public universities, which is offered free of cost. But if you in per se go for the MBA degree, which is considered a professional degree, then they're offered by the private universities, which includes fees. So we have, as you said, the Frankfurt School of Management, the Munich School of Management. These are few institutes which are offering MBA. They require work experience, and they require GMAT scores as well, and they're really competitive getting in. The fees may vary from, say, suppose 20,000 to 25 30,000 euros for the course. It depends, but if we target the public universities, which are very good, they offer the degree that's MIM, Masters in Management. But the job prospects, if we compare for both of them, I think it's only the nomenclatural difference. Otherwise, the both degrees offer the same job opportunities in the market. And there are ample of jobs, Germany being the leading economy. So the job prospects are real good. And they have shortage of resources, human resources, as of now.
Great. Tinkleby is asking, I think this is for France. Ayushi, how do I need to apply through credit transfer? I mean, through some portal, campus transfer, reach out directly.
Yes, you can. So as I mentioned, if you're applying, like you just have to apply to the universities to that. If you want to go to public university, that depends on the program that you're actually looking up for. If you're going for STEM courses, then public university is a good option. If you're going for management, like BBA second year, something similar, then business schools would be a better option. Eventually, if it's a private institution, you have to contact the institute directly, sending all your documents and then checking if they allow you to go into second year. If you have to apply to public university, you have to apply through the campus funds procedure itself. There is no other way out, and you can choose up to maximum of 7 choices in the same cart by the same application. In that case, you apply maybe out of 7 to 4 for your second year of bachelor's, and maybe 3 for first year as well, just in case you are not able to get into second year, so which actually opens more doors for you.
Great.
Yeah.
I have another question. Navya Agarwal, is Masters in Economics worth in Germany? Absolutely, Navya. What are the placements like? Yeah, pretty good. So all consulting companies, you might have organizations like which are working in governance consulting, or the big organizations like Bain, KPMG, and all. So they all recruit masters economics. You can join large companies also in econometrics as an econometrician. You have teaching and research opportunities also. So as I said earlier, like other countries also, you go to France, you go to, you go to Spain. So depending on which country and what language you're willing to learn, because Europe language will become a concern unless you're going to a country like Netherlands, which is largely English speaking. So you can choose any country and look at top universities. It depends on what your scores are. So you can connect with us, Ribu. If you can put our phone numbers, you can connect with us, and I just probably have to close in 5 minutes. I also need to uh, get into something. So, Rishika, what is considered to be a good predictive score for UG? If you're looking at good universities, typically 90 to 95, but again, it depends on which country where. So connect with us. Ribu, if you can display our phone numbers once. So these are the numbers. You connect, and I'll organize a session with our study abroad team. They can take on questions and they can help you further. Yeah. Next is Bhavya. The top universities in Turkey are. I in fact visited Turkey, and oh wow, I love that place. I was there at Blue Mosque and Grand Bazaar and amazing dry fruits and all that. Made up few friends also. Very good people. So Turkey, I remember KOC University, very good university, Sabanci and Nitan Tashi. So these are three universities which are like top universities, and you will get business courses there. Cost wise, they're pretty. I visited in maybe 7 years back, so that time it was in the range of 2.5 to 4 lakhs per annum. It would have increased, I would imagine, by maybe 40-50% by now. Best engineering university in Europe, Anima Sarkar, as I said, Germany is pretty good. So check TU 9, Technical University Munich, Technical University Berlin, TU, yeah, keep on checking. And of course, for each country, you can check top universities there. You can just check topuniversities.com for all the countries. Okay. Quickly now, PPT, I just cover some things in 3-4 minutes. You'll get a lot of information, and then we can discuss. Neeru ma'am is here. So the German question, Sahana's unique creation, we'll take that question. Just wait for 2 minutes. Next. Yeah, next, please. So Netherlands is English taught courses, fourth most innovative nation. Typical tuition fees, like most of my students go for around 10 to 12 lakhs per annum. Yeah. And a lot of people from all over the world. And it's known for tourism, so good. Next. 1 year residence permits for orientation year. So people go for technical side, bioengineering, international finance, computational sciences, management, especially on the digital transformation side, food technology, psychology. So all these courses are pretty popular in Netherlands. Next, University of Amsterdam is the topmost university, but VU, Utrecht, and others. So Nike has good internships. Cisco, IKEA is a big firm in Netherlands. Then Adidas, So Tesla, Panasonic, Netflix, all the top multinationals are there. Next. Some of the government has ensured that top companies will operate from there for the entire Europe also. So Amsterdam is on the top. Delft University of Technology is again very well known. And then others like Eindhoven, Utrecht. Every year we send about 14 to 16 students to Netherlands. Erasmus again is a pretty good, especially for management. Next. So Delft, University of Amsterdam, aerospace, BSc politics, psychology, law and economics. So all these we can look at. Again, it depends. Typically, it is not, scholarships might not be as much possible here compared to other countries, but the pricing is quite decent. Next. International development was for like humanities people. This is Finland. Helsinki School of Business is the topmost business school. This year, I have a student, Amor, is going to Aalto for a course in computer science, with 100% scholarship. Finland, you get a lot of scholarships. Oulu, Tampere, every year we are sending students. Finland somehow gives a lot of scholarships. Next. Hey, Play Nation. Yes, I was there at APJ Noida. It was a fun workshop. I really enjoyed. I love your Audi. I really love to conduct programs there. It was amazing. Next. France, I think we have spoken enough about France, but still quickly, HEC Paris, ISSEC, Grenoble, and there are so many others. Grand Ecoles are older institution. Sciences Po for a lot of courses, it's ranked like top in the world. I have a student doing her master's in international relations, so it is ranked like third for that course, in the world. So France is pretty well known for management, for finance, luxury brand management, and even on the digital transformation side. Next. So Sukriti, inside the college, Finland, you'll have largely English now, a lot of English courses, but because you interact with the environment outside for internship, for jobs and all, so you would need to learn Finnish while you are there. Finnish language will be taught free of charge at all the universities. Next, HEC Paris is a top college. Germany. So we have already discussed about Germany, and I'll take some more questions from Neeru ma'am. But a lot of public universities, zero charge. So many universities. You have Technical University, which I spoke of, University of Applied Sciences, separate University of Art and Music, and then business schools. Next. So Germany is really popular for engineering, for management, for psychology. But a lot of people don't know, but specialized courses like design, biotech, maths. So these are things which you can look at. Next. So TUM, RWTH, All these are institutions which, you know, we could look at. We already discussed these. Next, Sweden. Again, Sweden with an excellent education system. Check out Stockholm University. Check out Lund. Check out Malmo. So good. Next, I'll just show you the listing. They have 2 intakes. Next, visa does take some time. So Stockholm University is the topmost university. KTH is a good university. Chalmers, Linnaeus, Malmo, and Lund, I already spoke to you about. Yeah, good for bio people, good for technology, good for management also. Next, and very much research oriented. Like engineering, physics, or even for economics, biology. So good places to go and study. Next, generally the fees will be around 12, 14 lakhs per annum. Next, Denmark. So Galway was there from Denmark. So industrial electronics, architecture, business economics, construction technology. Next. Yeah, Aarhus, University College. So Copenhagen School of Design and Technology, University of Copenhagen. These are top institutions in Denmark. Next. Austria, very, very strong for music, for design, creative computing, business management, yeah, international wine business. So if you want to be a sommelier, you can go there. Leisure management, yeah. So Austria again has a very different feel to it. I've been to Austria, stayed there for 3 days, not much, but then I could get a feel of how the city is, of how University of Vienna is a top university. Next, yeah. Next, University of Applied Sciences, Upper Austria is also a very good university. Prague. So this was an international conference I went for, and it was just, I was just going through the chocolate factories, and it started raining, and I was on a public transport, and somehow I had to change, and I got down, and I just walked into University of Economics Prague, which is a 80 plus years old university with students from 50 plus countries. 15,000 students study there. The costing at that time was 3.4 lakh. I would imagine it to be around 4.2, 4.3 lakhs per annum. 4.3 lakhs per annum. Yes, you heard it right. I even visited Charles University Prague, established in some 1334. Can you imagine how old it is? Like comparatively, Delhi University is 100 years old. Imagine Charles University Prague, huge name there. Yeah. So a lot of Indian families, they come to us and they say, we have heard of this. Boss, you need to research. Heard of se thona chalega. When you invest in something, you research thoroughly. Similarly, this is a lifelong investment. You have to sit and research. And students, you can use now various AI tools also to research, and then come to career counselors like us who are doing genuine counseling without any ties with any university, so that we are able to tell you difference between countries and help you finalize the universities. So in the market, there are a lot of people who are doing all kind of work, but people like us, we start from a zero base, and depending on I have a student who's studying cybersecurity in Estonia. Can you imagine? If you go on YouTube and check Indian students in Estonia, Indian students at Tallinn University. Tallinn is a government university. You know what is the cost of BSc cybersecurity? It is equivalent to BTech. It's 6 lakhs per annum. Yeah, but nobody will tell you Estonia. Why? Because lack of research. Yeah. How did I get to know about it? So one of my students, he said, I have heard about cybersecurity courses, and Estonia as a nation is trying to do a lot of work. His dad was working in Europe. And then we researched here. We found the university. We shared with the dad. He visited that, and then this guy went. This was a student from DPS Arkepuram. Yeah. So just sharing with you. So if you research, you can get amazing courses, amazing places, and at a good cost. I mean, 6 lakhs is what? In India, you spend, you go to a university like Ashoka, you spend 12 lakhs per annum, And I'm getting Tallinn, which is a government university with students from 50, 60 countries. Next. I think last 2-3 slides. Yeah, Charles University Prague I spoke about, University of Economics Prague. Yeah, next. We have already spoken about all this. Japan. Japan is also upcoming. So Tokyo, University of Tokyo, University of Kyoto. Typical cost around 7 to 10 lakhs per annum. But staying living is expensive, which you can earn a part also, but a lot of scholarships from Japan. Yeah. So how can we help? You can be in touch. You can WhatsApp us on these numbers. Maybe you can put my number also. So you sit with us, we understand once, twice, thrice. We finalize your career plan. We say, hey, let's look at these 3 countries, 4 countries. Let's finalize. You do more research, we do more research, and come round. And then everything. We have got complete profile building team, excellent people who are helping you with, research papers, helping with patenting. You're being helped with social project, tech project, competitions, building up your own YouTube channels, podcasts, and so on. So you've got good mentors who will help you step by step. And then, of course, application team comes in and they help you apply to various countries. All this servicing is done through a WhatsApp group. Yeah. So you can connect with us on these numbers. You can store these numbers. And yeah, so Kriti, just WhatsApp us. We'll share the career counseling. It is actually different for aptitude testing and counseling, different for only counseling. And then third is study abroad only. So you need to choose. So Kriti, just WhatsApp us on these numbers and we'll immediately get back to you. We have put a lot of content on YouTube. So when Corona time was there, I started making videos, and we have like more than 238 videos on YouTube. So you can just check it out. You'll get a lot of information. You can check our Instagram, Jitin Chawla Career Guru, and then build up. So with this, I wish you all the best. And one last thing from Miss Niru. Yeah, medicine in Germany. So, Neeru ma'am, if you can comment on it, I think 2, 3 people are interested in Sahana's unique creation. You have to tell me what creations you are doing. I'm sure you're a government's organization, but you're asking medicine in Germany. If you can comment on it quickly, and then we can call it done.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. So medicine in Germany is completely free. It's around 6.5 months, 6.5 years of medicine, but you need 13 year of education. So that means one, it is totally in German language. You need to do the 13 or the foundation, the student colleague from Germany. You have to first do your German language till B2, go and take the entrance exam for the student colleague program, the 13th year program in Germany. That's known as Aufnahmeprüfung. Do this 1 year of foundation course from Germany, and then the final exam of that program would decide if you get the admission into the medicine program. It is a little tough, but it is completely free. You need in the final exam of the student collect program, you need a perfect 1 score. So I'm not dissuading you, but yes, if you have passion and you have determination, we can get through it. But it is completely in German language. The first step would be you have to start learning German language till B2.
Great, great.
Yeah.
So I hope that answers your question. And a lot of people joined us, and I could see a lot of parents also being very active. So we are Delhi's largest career counseling firm, and we work with schools and colleges in India as well as outside India. I have my sessions coming up in Dubai from 1st to 3rd, then Doha next month, and so on. With this, I wish you all the best. Parents who are listening to us, parenting, helping children with careers is not an easy task. You need a lot of research. Please get into a chat GPT or perplexity or whatever. You'll get a lot of answers from there, and then come to a specialist like us who can resolve your queries, make a complete career plan, help your children with profile building. Even if you're staying in India, still working on profile is important. Doing your research, doing a tech project, doing, participating in competitions, social project, everything adds value. So senior classes are time, like 8 to 12th is a journey where you make the child so strong that the child can go and survive anywhere in the world. So Indian parents, I feel, they love the child like crazy, and they want the child to be really successful. So putting your best people, and any help you need, you can be in touch, and I would wish you all the best. Thank you. Thank you. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel. We keep on putting up new videos, and if you need any video on a new area which we have forgotten, we have not covered, just share, and we'll be happy to make a video on it. Thank you. Thank you.